Hey guys, yesterday I posted a video about existential questions and existential ideas that love to come up in our anxious moments and our fearful moments. And when I was lying in bed last night, I listened to the video just before I went to sleep. And there was one line in the video, and I was like, that did not come out right. And since I have no editing skills whatsoever when it comes to YouTube, um, I decided to just redo that video, a shorter version of that video, without the one little line that I thought, wait, that definitely it did not come out of my mouth right. So this is sort of a remake and a shorter, hopefully more kind of concise video about existential questions and existential ideas that fearful minds and anxious minds love to talk about and love to flood your mind with. So when I say existential questions and existential ideas, I mean those questions that creep in a lot at like 3 in the morning, like, what's the point of my life? What's the point of the things I do? Why do I do the things I do? What is my purpose in life? What is the point of the last 50 years of my life? Does anything matter? Do I matter? What is the rest of my life going to look like? What does life mean? Those kind of like existential, those like they seem so big and so important, and they feel like they have their own category because somewhere along the line our culture created this word called existential. I mean, our world, our the human race came up with this special category. Like existential means, oh, watch out. So even just the word grabs your attention. And if you have a sensitive nervous system, just hearing the word existential crisis or existential fear or existential question is going to like be a charge. It's going to like kind of grab your nervous system and be like, oh no, this is big. But I really just want to normalize, really bring down the hype around this thing we call existential questions. What is heaven? Is there a hell? What is religion? Is there a God? Who am I? All those things that tend to come out of fear, anxiety. And let's just look at it for what it is. Any of those questions fall into a very simple bucket of a fearful question. And I just did a video that I'm going to publish in a few minutes on just fearful questions in general. Without the label existential, which I'm going to use in my title just for fun, just for the sake of communication, but without the meaning of existential, all that's ever happening is your mind in a state of fear, which is fine and very human and very normal. Your mind is asking the scariest questions it can think of. Your mind is asking the most compelling question it can ask to grab your attention, to make it feel like something's at stake. Something big is happening that needs to be solved. And I think minds are so, especially fearful minds are so clever and the way they can convince you this must be solved. This must be figured out. Something is at stake, meaning your safety's at stake. Your okayness is at stake. Your sanity is at stake. The mind is so clever. Of course, it's going to say the scariest thing it can. And it's so innocent. The mind does this just to protect you. It wants to protect you from feeling. It wants to protect you from feeling scared, feeling terrified, feeling anything really. And the best way for the mind to protect you from feeling is to shout warnings. So if something has grabbed your attention, like, oh no, the mind very quickly tags that as like, oh, this is a good one. Let's shout about that one the most. So if at some point it occurred to you, what's my purpose? What's the point of life? And it had like a physical, physiological, visceral charge. The mind tagged that and went, oh, that one got her. So let's shout that one as much as we can night and day to save her because we don't ever want her to be unsafe. So we don't want to condemn the mind for speaking and asking scary questions. We just really, really want to start noticing when questions and stories and movies are coming from fear. So I've been privileged enough lately to watch this unfold in some people that I love. And one of the people that I love most was kind of asking these existential questions to me, like, what is the point of my life? What is the point of everything I've ever done? Questioning religion, how she was taught to believe in certain religious concepts. And one of the things that I said to her is, this is such a gift. When these questions, now granted, they're coming from fear, they're coming from anxiety, like, oh no, this is big, I need to solve this. When those come in, I think it's really a cool gift because what it does is it pierces that bubble that we tend to live in, where we just kind of float along with what's familiar. We don't question anything. We just assume that whatever we've been taught is the truth. So when these questions come in, even though they're fearful, even though they do not need answers, the fact that they're coming in and sort of crashing into your otherwise comfortable life is really cool. And it's a gift because it's an opportunity for waking up to begin. And ready or not, when waking up is ready, waking up is going to happen. For me, it was a big health like crisis, a big messy health mess. That is what crashed into my comfortable little world and sort of started this whole waking up process. This process of seeing who I am before the world got its hands on me. Not one of us came into the world. We were not born into the world believing things, believing in things. We didn't, that's not native to us. Your belief in something was added to you. You learned it. And then all the little baby beliefs about this is how life should be. This is how people should treat each other. This is what I should be doing. And this is where I should feel shameful. That was added to you by your culture, your parents, your teachers, the media. So when I say waking up, I mean, when things crash into you like these existential questions that keep you up night after night, it's a gift. It is the waking up beginning. It's the cracking of the matrix. It's the something crashing into your bubble saying, wait, hold everything. There are a whole lot of programs and beliefs that were added to you that are ready to be seen in the light so that you can begin remembering and recognizing the truth of who you've always been, that's never been touched, the truth of who you were at birth, when you were just the presence of life itself. You were just whole and complete and perfect. You were loved. You had no expectations. You had no beliefs. You didn't know right, wrong, good, bad, should, shouldn't. So when these things come crashing into your life, and generally I see it in people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, please consider that this is a gift. It is not comfortable. It is often very messy and wobbly, and it feels like your whole world is turning upside down. But what if, when these existential questions, these fearful questions crash into your comfortable little life, it's the world turning right side up again for the first time in 50 years, 60 years, 75 years. It's an opportunity to return to your most authentic self, to the truth of who and what you are beyond all the thoughts and beliefs you have picked up along the way. Again, none of us were born believing in anything or believing anything. None of us were born with a list of shoulds and shouldn'ts, shameful and not shameful. We learned all of these things, and it's kind of time to start unlearning. Luckily, this is not a to-do list for you. This is not a figure out. This is not a go into your head and intellectualize and analyze. This is simply a allowing, a surrendering, a trusting that whatever is sort of spinning the planets and growing acorns into oak trees and caterpillars into butterflies, that same intelligence, that same energy of life is trustworthy for you too. And the more we are hands off and we really tap into that superpower we have of just notice without attaching, without making meaning, just notice, oh, there are those questions again. Hi, I see you. What's the point? What's my purpose? It doesn't need an answer when it's coming from fear, coming from anxiety, coming from urgency, coming from high stakes, serious. It just needs to be noticed. Given your presence, hi, I see you, you're here. So if you're facing what we love to call existential crises right now, if it looks like something is really, really scary and upside down, and someone has just pulled the rug out from under your feet, and you are struggling and striving to find a foundation again, congratulations. You're in a really, really, really great spot. It is messy, it is wobbly, it is uncomfortable, and it is 100% safe and in service of you. And if you're even luckier, you have someone, maybe someone that's gone ahead of you in this journey, maybe someone that just is a really good listener. You have someone whose hand you can hold and be very authentic, incredibly honest, and say, this is what's coming up for me. It feels scary. And that someone, whoever it is that can hold your hand and listen deeply, can say, it can feel scary and be 100% safe at the same time. Let's feel scary together and let's hold scary. And instead of trying to make scary things go away, and instead of trying to make scary things never come back, let's together, baby step by baby step, begin opening the space for scary to come in and feel the trust. Feel the trust and the peace and the grace that is inside already. The goal is never to not have fear, ever. The goal, if any, is to see that the trust is already there for fear. The container for fear to come in is ready to grow. I hope this helps. So I'm going to delete the other video and I'm going to put this one in its place. I love you guys. Bye.